Your car's paint is dying right now. Not from the sun, not from bird droppings, from something invisible you've been ignoring for months. Most people wash their car, wax it once a year, and wonder why the shine disappears after 3 washes. Here's the truth. Professional detailers do one simple thing every 30 days that keeps paint looking showroom new for decades. And it takes less time than a single car wash. But the detailing industry buries this step because it kills their upsell game. I'm about to show you the exact monthly ritual that stops oxidation, prevents swirl marks, and locks in gloss without expensive coatings or ceramic treatments. Stay till the end because the twist isn't what you apply, it's what you remove first, and most people skip it completely. Let's clear up the confusion. When we talk about paint longevity, we're really talking about clear coat protection. Your car's color layer sits under a transparent shield called clear coat. That clear coat is what shines, and it's also what fails first. Every month, microscopic contaminants bond to that surface. Iron particles from brake dust, tree sap, industrial fallout, water spots. These aren't just dirt, they're embedded into the clear coat on a molecular level. A regular wash removes loose grime, but it doesn't touch bonded contamination. And here's the kicker. When you wax or seal over contamination, you're locking in the damage. You're essentially preserving the problem. The monthly ritual pros use starts with decontamination, not protection. Remove the invisible enemy first, then shield the surface. Skip this, and your paint will always feel rough, look dull, and age faster no matter what you apply. How do you know if your paint is contaminated? Run your fingertips across the hood after washing. Feel that slight texture, like fine sandpaper or bumpy skin. That's bonded contamination. It's not supposed to be there. Glass smooth paint reflects light uniformly, creating deep gloss. Rough paint scatters light, killing depth and making colors look flat. Now here's the test professionals use. The baggy test. Take a clean plastic sandwich bag, turn it inside out over your fingers, and glide it across your paint. The plastic amplifies the texture. If it catches or drags, you've got contamination. Most cars driven daily accumulate enough bonded particles in 30 days to feel rough. Highway cars get it worse. City cars get it from brake dust and pollution. Even garaged cars aren't immune because airborne fallout settles constantly. The rougher your paint, the faster it oxidizes, and the shorter your protection lasts. So why don't detailers tell you this up front? Because contamination removal is a service they charge $50 to $150 for. It's called clay bar treatment, or decon wash, and shops position it as a premium add-on. But here's the truth, they won't admit. Once you own the right tools, this process costs pennies per month and takes 15 minutes. The detailing industry thrives on complexity and ups. They want you to think paint care requires a PhD and a $400 ceramic coating. In reality, monthly decontamination is the single highest impact step, and it's stupidly simple. They also push frequent waxing and sealants because those are repeat purchases. But if your paint is contaminated, those products sit on top of rough junk and fail within weeks. Decontamination resets the surface, so protection actually bonds and lasts. It's the difference between painting over rust and fixing the rust first. The industry hides this because educated customers spend less. Does monthly decontamination work for every car? Almost, but rules apply. If your paint is already oxidized or heavily swirled, decon won't reverse that damage. It only prevents new damage. You'll need paint correction first. That's polishing to remove defects. But once corrected, monthly decon keeps it perfect indefinitely. For new cars or recently detailed paint, decon is your insurance policy. It stops contamination before it etches into the clear coat. Daily drivers benefit most because they're exposed to constant fallout. Garaged weekend cars can stretch it to every 6 weeks, but monthly is safer. The exception, if you live near the ocean, salt spray accelerates bonding, so every 3 weeks is smarter. Likewise, if you park under trees or near train tracks or industrial zones, contaminants accumulate faster. Adjust frequency to your environment. The rule is simple. Touch your paint monthly. If it feels rough, decon it. Now let's kill the biggest myth, that clay bars scratch your paint. This lie keeps people scared and dependent on shops. The truth? Clay bars only scratch if you use them wrong. Contamination itself is abrasive, like sandpaper embedded in your clear coat. A clay bar lifts and removes that contamination when used with lubricant. The scratches people blame on clay are usually from dragging the bar over dry paint or dropping it on the ground and reusing it. Proper technique is safe. Spray heavy lubricant, glide the clay gently with 0 pressure, fold and knead it clean constantly. Clay doesn't cut your paint, it shears off the junk, sticking to it. In fact, leaving contamination on your surface is far more damaging because every wash, mitt or towel drags those particles across your clear coat, creating real swirls. Decon removes the abrasive threat. Another myth. You need expensive clay. Wrong. A basic clay bar kit costs $15 and lasts a year. Here's the hidden danger zone most people never see. Bonded contamination isn't inert. Iron particles oxidize, meaning they rust on your paint. That rust creates a chemical reaction with your clear coat, slowly etching microscopic pits. Over months, this etching becomes permanent staining that even polishing can't remove. You'll see it as brown or orange speckling on white or light-colored cars. It's called rail dust or fallout staining, and it's irreversible once it penetrates deep enough. Tree sap is another silent killer. It bakes onto your clear coat in the sun, and if left for weeks, it chemically bonds and hardens. Removing old sap often pulls clear coat with it. Water spots do the same. The minerals etch into the surface and create permanent cloudiness. Monthly decontamination stops all of this before the damage becomes permanent. Think of it as brushing your teeth. Skip it for months, and you're looking at fillings. Do it regularly, and your enamel stays intact forever. How do you know it's time? Look for these symptoms. Your paint feels rough even after washing. Water doesn't bead anymore, or beads inconsistently. Your car looks dull even in direct sunlight. When you run your hand across the hood, you feel tiny bumps or a gritty texture. Wax or sealant you applied recently stopped working within a week. You notice tiny black or orange specks that won't wash off. These are all signs contamination has taken hold. If you notice any of these, don't wait another month. Decon immediately. The longer contamination sits, the harder it bonds and the more effort it takes to remove. Fresh contamination lifts in seconds. Manhole contamination might need 2 or 3 passes. Year-old contamination could require aggressive clay or even chemical decon sprays with strong acids. Catch it early, and your paint stays flawless. Ignore it, and you're looking at expensive paint correction or a respray down the line. Your clear coat is thin. You only get so many chances. But here's where things get critical. If you drive a dark-colored car, especially black, metallic, or dark blue, contamination is your worst enemy. Dark paint shows every imperfection. Swirls, scratches, dullness, all magnified. Light-colored cars hide defects better, but dark cars broadcast them. And here's the cruel irony. Dark cars attract more heat, which accelerates the bonding process. That iron fallout rusts faster. Tree sap hardens quicker. Water spots etch deeper. If you own a black car and you're not decontaminating monthly, your paint is aging 3 times faster than it should. The same applies to cars with soft paint. Japanese brands like Mazda, Subaru, and Honda are notorious for soft, clear coats that scratch and contaminate easier. German paint is typically harder and more resistant, but it's not immune. Turbocharged cars and performance vehicles also accumulate more brake dust because of aggressive pads. More dust, more contamination, faster damage. Adjust your routine accordingly. Now the twist. Monthly decontamination isn't enough if you're still washing your car wrong. Here's what nobody tells you. Automatic car washes and drive-through brushes recontaminate your paint instantly. Those spinning brushes are loaded with dirt and grit from hundreds of cars. They scratch your clear coat and deposit new contamination faster than you can remove it. Even touchless washes use harsh chemicals that strip protection and leave mineral residue. The smarter move, wash your car yourself using the 2-bucket method. Or use a touchless self-serve bay with your own microfiber MIT. After washing, while the paint is still wet, that's your decon window. Spray your lubricant and clay in sections, hood, roof, doors, trunk. Work in straight lines, not circles. After claying, rinse thoroughly. Dry with a clean microfiber towel, and then apply your wax or sealant. This sequence ensures your protection bonds to clean, smooth paint. Protection applied to contaminated paint is worthless. Decon first, protect second. That's the formula. So here's the checklist. Once a month, wash your car thoroughly, using the 2-bucket method. Touch test your paint with the baggy test or your fingertips. If rough, grab your clay bar kit. Spray heavy lubricant on a 2-foot section. Glide the clay with 0 pressure until it slides smoothly. Fold, and knead the clay to a clean surface after every panel. Rinse the car completely to remove clay residue. Dry with a clean microfiber towel. Now your paint is glass smooth and ready for protection. Apply a spray sealant or paste wax, whichever you prefer. Sealants last longer, waxes look warmer. Either works. Buff to a high gloss. Your paint is now protected and contamination-free for 30 days. Repeat monthly. This routine costs under $5 per session and takes 20 minutes start to finish. No shop required. No ceramic coating needed. Just consistent maintenance that compounds over years into flawless paint. Here's your final takeaway. Paint care isn't about the most expensive product or the newest coating. It's about removing damage before it happens. Monthly decontamination is the single highest leverage habit you can adopt. It stops oxidation, prevents swirls, extends protection, and keeps your car looking 10 years younger than it is. Professionals know this, but they'd rather sell you a $500 ceramic coating than teach you a 15-minute monthly habit. Now you know better. Your paint is an investment. Clear coat doesn't grow back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Protect it now, or pay for it later. Consistency beats intensity every time. 20 minutes a month for a lifetime of showroom shine. That's the deal. So here's my question for you. When's the last time you actually touched your paint and felt how rough it really is? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one. If this video just saved you hundreds in detailing fees, smash that like button and subscribe, because next week, I'm exposing the one wax ingredient that's actually destroying your clear coat, and it's in 80% of the products at your local auto store. You need to see that before you buy anything else. Now go run that baggy test and see what you've been driving around with. Your paint will thank you.